Okay, all right. Are we going, guys? Let me know when we're going. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. 9:01 actually here in Los Angeles. It is Wednesday, the 24th of July AD 2024. And pardon me, I'm actually doing work. Okay, so I'm looking at my phone. I gotta do something real fast here. Oh, I can do it through my computer. We're gonna have a fun loosey-goosey The Hake Report show. I have a correction on this Adele thing. Spoiler alert gave me this tip that yesterday I covered how Adele stood up and cussed out a guy who said, "Pride stinks." Actually, that man who said pride stinks may not actually have said pride stinks. You believe it? Crazy. He might have said work stinks. And isn't that more typical to say work stinks? Typical hate crime hoax. Typical Adele cussing out an innocent man. Ridiculous. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Shameful. So I'm going to talk about that. I'll play like the video from this guy who bleeped it. Nice. You'll see footage of it. And I may also, these ladies are cussing too much, in my opinion. It's out of control. Nancy Mace cussing out the former Secret Service head who has stepped down. You heard about that yesterday. The head of the Secret Service, the female head. Nancy Mace is a Republican rhino type Trump supporter, sort of, right now, who claims she was R-worded. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm just doing something that's important. For reals, it's important, okay? I'm shaking my head. You're full of SH blank today. Boop. It's ridiculous. Kamala Harris. Some people think that Kamala Harris is not sober when she's talking sometimes because she's so silly and out of it. Not in a good way. And so I don't know. I don't want to be somebody making claims like that, But she is a bit of a mess. And then I heard, and I don't know if this is true, but somebody on X was saying that the Pope, Vigano, not the Pope, this priest, this Catholic guy, Carlo Maria Vigano, that he's going to be excommunicated by the Pope by saying that, for saying that the Pope is not legitimate. Isn't that interesting? He was so deep, this Carlo Maria, a man's middle name for some reason. I don't understand these Catholics, man, or these Italians. But this guy, I don't know if he's going to be excommunicated or not, or if that's just a rumor, but he's pretty deep. I remember we read a spiritual message from him on either the JLP show or church or something, because it was a nice message about the reality and the spiritual issues of what's going on in the world. So and I wouldn't be quite really surprised because the Pope is such a liberal and he comes off as like a nice guy and he's, part of the message sounds like the truth. I don't know if it is the truth, but he's like, we should love one another. That's true. I don't know what he means, what the spirit behind him is, but I don't know. So we'll see what goes on, guys. And I wasn't able to get to all of your calls, including Rick from Hampton, Virginia, and others, guys. So you can call in 1-888-775-3773. But I'm still doing my thing, right? I still haven't done my thing yet with my phone. But in the meantime, guys, let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I'm wearing another relatively nice shirt, you know, like a church Sunday shirt. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? I got the thumbs up from Gregatron for yesterday. Was it yesterday that I wore that shirt? Anyway, thank you, Gregatron. Shout out, guys. So, you know, how you doing? Marcus J in the chat asks, hey, can you tell the Jays to get over the Holocaust and stop overreacting to it? Yes, I can. I tell them all the time. Get over it. It's not a big deal. Get over it. Get over the USS Liberty, whites. It's in the past. Get over the Holocaust, Jewish people. It's in the past. You're going to bring it on by saying, oh, we never forget. Oh, we got to stop hate. Fighting hate for good. The evil ADL does. All that stuff. Blacks, get over this phony slavery. Crying like betas. Blacks who are all upset about a woman who got shot by the cops. Get over it. You don't know the situation. The woman was acting crazy, according to reports. May have had a mental issue, and that's according to Commie Nonsense Network. Hey, son, you got a show to do. I know, and I have a message to send, and I don't know how to send this. Okay, please. Dear so-and-so, I'm just sending a message to get over it. Unfortunately, I'm just sending a message, guys. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Everybody's filling in for other people, okay? Everybody's filling in for other people. So please cut American Anchor maybe some slack. He's doing everything for everybody. And Hake is doing something for somebody. Some people did something. The cop is in jail for first-degree murder, according to Marcus J in the chat. Marcus Snake in the chat, I should say. And there's video footage. LOL, we know exactly what happened. If you're laughing, then you don't really care. So you don't really know what happened. You don't know what happened. According to CNN, she was acting crazy. Hake texting his lady. Schedule. Bum, 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 bum. You can call Bond, by the way, guys. 323-782-1980 if you need to follow up on anything or get any info. Thanks. And I'm James Hake. All right, guys. What a mess. Whole lot of mess going on in the world. What a mess. What's up, Lucas? What's up, Lucas? Oh, Lucas. He has his running thing right now. That's pretty kind, Lucas. Okay. Or is it not kind? That's okay. So, what shall we cover? Guys, there were some super chats that did come in. I did see. So let me start off with some super chats today. Let me make sure that this did send. Otherwise, I would be remiss in it. Okay. All right. So let's read from on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. Mo Betta gave a couple of generous donations. First, he said, if I free speak my disagreement with Joe from Phoenix, will I get my $1 billion international Adidas contract canceled? Either way, here goes. The wolf in sheep's clothing is eternally trying to steer the narrative for Christians. All sounding like a mix of Pinky and the Brain, Hannibal Lecter, munching on the brain behind some man sitting at the dinner table. Pardon me if that's a bit graphic. Mo Betta is a man of action, and so he has a strong stomach, stronger than most. In my opinion, he was doing a military-grade information operation to us all. One of the Blanca Christians, at best, with 2 nations' passports. He contradicted himself so many times over the past year. Catch me outside, Joe from Phoenix. We need to talk. So says Mo Betta. Thank you, Mo Betta. Yeah, don't let him get under your skin, Mo Betta. Keep it cool, and keep it as an I don't know if you don't know. Suspicious though you may be. Rightly suspicious of the snake's intentions. Just, you know that he's a snake. He also says, Hake, with 10 coffees, very generous. You left Rick from Hampton, VA on hold at the end of Tuesday, yesterday. Indeed, I did. I wasn't able to get to him because I was intent on telling my stories, and I don't have a clear shot at I don't always have a clear view of the stuff. So, of the people on hold and stuff. So I may be talking for minutes on end, tens of minutes even, and not be getting to my callers. And then the show goes by. It's bad. Mouth breather stuff. It's not good. I will send you 10 coffees to front load my brother on your Wednesday show. It is always nice to hear from Rick from VA. Star eyes emoji. Thank you, Mo Betta. That's cool. Rob Blackie, 10 coffees, also generous. Hey, Hake, love your takes. You got a nice little show, compadre. I would like your thoughts on something I'm wrestling with. When Trump ran in 2016, he was talking about the deep state. And now we can see that Biden is a puppet, and it's pretty much a dunzo dealzo that the government is run by a permanent bureaucracy. Why isn't he calling out the deep state harder than ever? Yeah, because the government is not run by Biden. I'll tell you that much. Although I remember my dad saying my grandpa was sharp, even though he had Parkinson's. I don't know if Biden had Parkinson's, but he had a Parkinson's expert come in. His doctor, a little-known doctor with an Irish last name, McSomething, sounded Irish to me anyway, had a Parkinson's expert come into the White House to check him out. And I don't know. But they said my grandpa was sharp. He just couldn't communicate it. He just couldn't get the words out. But it was in his mind, clearly. Or it was tougher for him to get it out. Trump 2024. Thank you, Rob. I don't know. I don't know what he talks about. But I do know that this Project 2025 thing is kind of to counteract the huge, way out of control, liberal, I say liberal, I mean communist or whatever you want to call it, evil, pro-Democrat, anti-Trump definitely. Even if they're Republicans, they're rhinos. They're for the establishment, rhinos. Anti-Trump element in the government, the permanent bureaucracy. It's ridiculous. It's out of control. I've shown you pictures of charts, screenshots of charts of the donations to Hillary Clinton in 2016 versus Trump in 2016. It was like 95% in most cases, plus or minus, including in the Defense Department and Homeland Security, immigration, and all that stuff. Largely pro-Hillary. Are you kidding me? And so they're all scared. They're gonna that Project 2025, which is something that Trump's not even really necessarily a part of, but some of his people are involved in this thing and the Heritage Foundation, sort of conservative, supposedly, sort of rhino, in my opinion, but sort of conservative, might be okay. Trying to put some balance, make the executive branch support rather than undermine the president. The president is supposed to be the executive, the chief executive, and all the underling executives are undermining him. You kidding me? It's ridiculous. So anyway. And Terry bought a coffee. Loving the collared shirts, Hake. You look so mature and respectable. Satisfied smile emoji. Nice. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate that. Oh, I'm not supposed to breathe through my mouth. Okay, so let me get to Jaime in Minnesota on the line here. Jaime, how are you doing, man? What's up?
What's going on, Hake?
Not much. What's going on with you?
Nothing. Well, hey, I called to let you know that Trump and Vance, they're coming to Minnesota Saturday.
Oh, really? That's
Can
cool.
you believe that?
That's nice.
Yeah, they got a stadium all set up and ready to go.
That's good.
I'm not saying I'm going to go or anything, but if I was going to go, I'd probably go in early and take a look at everything and then just leave. Watch it on TV.
Stay away from the riffraff, the danger.
Yeah, too much noise, you know.
Too risky, huh?
No, I don't think so. They got so much Secret Service now.
Yeah, it's
like they're
probably.
supposed to.
It may be much safer now than pre-assassination attempt.
Yeah, now that they got that dirty woman out of there.
Yeah, that gal.
Cheeto.
Yeah, I mean it's not. It doesn't just come down to one person, because really I feel like she was just the scapegoat. They just scapegoated her. You know what I mean? Because the whole culture is low-brow, low quality. It's not just one person. And the whole culture is anti-Trump, of the government in general.
True.
So, yeah.
Yeah, also I wanted to congratulate the blacks on going one day without a mass shooting.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, one day. Very good.
Okay.
I don't know if you look at those stats, but just about every day they have a mass shooting.
I know.
Last one was a couple days ago at a car party. You know these kids, they like to go out there with their cars.
Yeah.
And they're cool cars. Some of them got them Dodge Challengers and Chargers with the V8s.
Yeah.
How they get them, I don't know.
It's a mess. People are spoiled. And they're out of control.
Yeah, then they start with the drinking and the drinking, the lean.
Really?
You ever had lean?
No, of course not. I'm white.
You ever had 7-Up?
I've had 7-Up. I don't know if I've ever had Robitussin or cough syrup. I've definitely had cough syrup, yes. But I haven't had it together.
Okay.
And I haven't had it enough to get, messed up over it. I have had NyQuil, and you wake up, if you get NyQuil, you wake up the next day worse off. You're like, I feel like I took medicine. You know that's medicine, and not necessarily good medicine. You don't feel better afterwards.
But I wanted to talk to you about that poor lady that got shot by that cop.
Okay, yes, please. Let's hear it.
The other day, the black lady.
Yeah, her name was, she's dead now, but her name was, what was it? Sonya, Sonya, Massey, Massey, 36-year-old black woman who called 911 for help, and she was, some clues show that, in the video, show that she may have been experiencing a mental health issue during her interaction with police. So she was a mess, apparently, and she got herself shot by the cop, and the cop has been fired and charged with murder. And Marcus J. claims first-degree murder. First-degree murder? What type of state charges you with first-degree murder as a cop dealing with an out-of-control woman? Second-degree murder? Maybe. or reckless homicide, I can understand, I suppose. But I haven't seen the video, and I don't really care about it. But what do you say about it?
You ever hear of the term suicide by cop?
I have.
That's what I think.
Really?
Yeah, she
Did
called
you
those
see the
people
video?
over there. She was ready to go. And then, what?
Did you see the video?
I did see part. Yeah, I saw it.
Can
She's
you
filling up
take me through what happened? In
She's
short?
filling up a pot of water. I mean, the cops were there.
Okay.
And I don't know what she was saying, but she was acting erratic.
Uh-huh.
And why the cop? And the video that I saw, I didn't get to see the full thing.
Yeah.
Just when the action was already going.
Yeah.
So it was at the erratic part that she was filling a pot of water and she got shot.
Was it hot water?
Allegedly. And I don't know how long it's been there or it was there.
Yeah.
And, that video didn't show.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll have to go and look for a really good video.
Yeah, I'd seen like a headline of the cop said that she was coming at him with a pot of water, but the video showed otherwise. So I don't know. Don't know. Don't care.
Well, he's got the cop cam, so it's out there.
Yeah.
If they released it, it's out there.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to find out for sure. But I'm more likely to believe the cops. I mean, he's a white man. He wouldn't lie. Why would a white man lie?
They tend to be more honest per capita.
Per capita.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
yeah, although, cops are under major attack these days. It's best to just wait and see. And if the cop did a little bit wrong, like, they're going to come down extra hard on him. Or if he even looked like he might have done something wrong, questionable, they're coming down extra hard and calling it murder. Just like what they did to poor Derek Chauvin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was suicide by cop. That's what it looked like to me.
Okay, well,
and, a lot of mentally ill people will do that, and black ones too. Yeah.
No, I know that they have little regard. They have little regard for themselves or anybody else when they're crazy like that. I don't know about her specifically. I couldn't say. I disavow whether it was that it was suicide by cop just for the sake of I don't know. But that's your opinion. Thank you for telling me a little bit about it.
Yeah, but that scalding water, that'll scar you for life.
Oh yeah, no, that's.
If you ever seen pictures.
There was a black woman, I think, who scarred a famous singer, with boiling grits, I think.
Yep.
Or very hot grits. Al Green, I think it was. His girlfriend, he was already married, but she didn't know that, I guess. And he wouldn't marry her. And so she threw the grits on him, hot grits, and just burned him up. And I think that she killed herself within a few weeks of that. So these ladies, man, and people in general, they're just a mess.
It was much better when we could lobotomize the crazy ones.
No, I disavow that. That doesn't sound right.
They're like, it helps. It 100%.
Well, it turned them into a vegetable. I don't think that's the. I really don't think that's the answer.
They won't throw hot scalding water on you or nothing.
Well, I mean,
and they could still do stuff.
Put them away.
They could do stuff.
I gotta go, man.
Happy life. All right. Well,
good to hear.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye. He's laughing. I think he's joking there. I disavow lobotomies. If you don't know what that is, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you when you're older, kids. I don't even want to think about it right now. They did some wild things back in the day, and they're doing wild things today. The people who did lobotomies back in the day would be horrified at the things that people are doing today to other parts of the body, with other people who have issues, let's say, the LGBT stuff. Shaking my head. Speaking of people who've done crazy things to their bodies with the help of doctors. Elon Musk, it turns out, I was scoffing a little bit at Elon Musk last week when it was reported, I think it was last week, when it was reported that Gavin Newsom signed this law about no parental notification required if the school is going to help a kid, a young man or a young woman underage, turn transgender or non-binary. If the kid doesn't want the parents to know, the school is not forced to tell the parents. And this law, California law, also is supposed to prevent retaliation, they call it. Retaliation, meaning punishment, okay? For the teacher, any teacher who helps a kid be transgender or non-binary and facilitates that madness. I call it madness, my personal opinion. It's spiritual madness for sure. And we've seen no statistic is going to show you the reality like libs of TikTok will show you the reality. I disavow libs of TikTok. She's this Jewish gal who says that this stuff is madness. I disavow her just, because I'm a nice guy. I'm nice to the liberals. She's a liberal herself, I think. But she's exposed how these teachers are. They're wild. Pushing this gay agenda, LGBT, racism brainwashing agenda on the children, the young people. It's ridiculous. And you see that? The statistics are never going to show you that's how these teachers are acting. It's just shamelessly pushing this evil agenda on the children. Brainwash them about racism. Brainwash them about LGBT, IQ. Brainwash them against America, against white people, against men, against Christianity, against common sense. And so that's what they're protecting, this California law. I'm against retaliation against somebody for doing evil. You don't just retaliate against evil. I don't think. Maybe there's a time and place for retaliation, but it's mostly like for self-defense. Retaliation. Terry says, it's demonic. I've met so many young women that get sucked in and get themselves sterilized. It's so sick. Yeah. And think about it, even on a less obvious scale on this freakishness, it's freakish. What's up, Misfit Nation? Nice to see you. Misfit Nation seems to agree it was not a good shoot on that black woman who supposedly came at the cops. Don't know. So there's reasonable disagreement there. But anyway, these people are not good. But I'm like, Elon Musk, you're moving your businesses out of the state of California over this transgender law, transgender kids law. All right, whatever. Well, it turns out it's more personal than that. I saw an interview with him on Daily Wire, and he was being, it turned out his oldest surviving son, I guess you would call it, or maybe second oldest. He's a twin, or this son, or what was a son, turned like transgender. No longer Xavier, now Vivian or something like that. Rejected the father's last name too, went from Musk to Wilson. Wilson is the mother's maiden name. The mother kept the father's name. She wanted to stay Musk. Justine Musk. But the son hates his dad so much that he changed his last name to Wilson, and to a woman's name too. That's how much he rejected the father. I'm looking at the chat, and Farsight's one of our resident liberals, I think Farsight's is a liberal. Pardon me if you're not a liberal, Farsight's. Says there's no supposedly coming after the cops. The lady was ducking behind the counter when that demonic cop shot her. Well, it may be. I don't know if the cop was demonic or not. May have been. All cop haters are communists. No, that's not true, Lucky Larry. Well, you could say that, but there's a lot of right-wingers who are starting to hate the cops, which may make them liberal if they hate. Because that's emotional. But was the woman demonic, Farsights? Was the woman demonic? Marcus J., who's been hounding me in the chat for to cover this story. I only heard little bits and pieces of it. And I only read morning updates from CNN. So it took me until this morning to read a little bit about it. Commie Nonsense Network. And of course, this lady's at the skim. You have to be demonic to be a cop, says Flat Earth Victory. Nice to see you, Flat Earth Victory. I disagree with that type of mindset. Joel Friday wanted to be a cop. Is he demonic? But he didn't get accepted. Maybe he's not demonic enough to be LAPD. Shout out to the LAPD. I know LAPD people. They're not... I mean, everybody's demon-possessed. And it has to... Until they are exorcised by the Lord, by our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. What a mess. A mess going on in the world. But, let me go live on Instagram. Instagram. Shout out to Instagram. I like Instagram, actually. It used to be no politics. I liked that. But now it is politics. And that's fine. Whatever. Let me read a couple of more super chats, or at least one. I saw one on Rumble. It's me, Xenia, says, hey, Hake, did you see the blind Barbie and black Barbie with Down syndrome Mattel unveiled for Disability Pride Month? Whoa. Speaking of, yes, indeed, it is, quote unquote, Disability Pride. What a mess. Let me show you. Silly. Let me show you this thing that I saw in Starbucks. I like the vibe in the Starbucks places. You know, it's just slightly dim, nice windows. You can see out. The music is not too obnoxious. And, let's see. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. Come on. Yes, indeed. Darn. Okay. Hang on. Give me a sec. And then switch over here. No, I did not see the blind Barbie and black Barbie with Down syndrome from Mattel. I'm not into Barbie stuff. I'm into G.I. Joe. But Starbucks is all into this stuff. Check this out. You see it? Disability Pride Month. In July, we celebrate Disability Pride Month. With joy and appreciation, we honor the contributions and diverse experiences of individuals with disabilities, their families and friends. Join us as we raise awareness, foster inclusive spaces. They're just trying to be nice, you know? They're just trying to be nice. And celebrate the achievements that have helped shape our shared history, culture, and future. Disability Advocacy Network. A Starbucks network for partners, employees, whose mission, blah, blah, blah. Nice. Shout out to Starbucks. They're trying to be nice. And it bites them in the back. By the way, I will have you know. It bites them. Because they're all nice, they're all anti-racist. And so they're anti their own clientele. because their clientele don't want to have to deal with the riffraff, and the riffraff is a mess. So that's bad. You can't even do anything. You can't even hang out at the stores anymore. Hardly. Chairs are all hard. Hey, most of your male callers are mama's boy betas, says C-Bill. Whoa. Indeed. We all gotta overcome that stuff, C-Bill. It's a mess. Speaking of my callers, I gotta get to Alex in Florida, who's on the line here. Alex, thank you for calling and holding there, man. How you doing? Are you there?
This is Alex from California.
What did I say?
Florida. I think your receptionist guy might have fumbled a little bit. It's all good though.
Okay, yeah, Alex from California, my bag. Thank you.
We can't expect perfection like we got from SHAWN, you know?
That's true. SHAWN, our greatest producer.
One quick thing, I'm really grateful that you're going back to calling Jaime from Minnesota, not Jimmy, because there's no such thing as a Mexican named Jimmy.
Indeed. But he's I don't think he's all that Mexican. He's pretty Americanized.
Like Portuguese or something?
Something. Yeah, but I like calling him Jaime too.
So the other week I called you about Trump. I was in kind of a mood that day, feeling a little better these days, but
okay.
Joe ended up calling me like a white nationalist Nazi and said I hate him and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to quickly address that with a question too. I didn't say the word hate, nationalism, or Nazi in my call at all.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, you were actually the one who said nationalist.
Right.
I don't think you were tying to that. So I actually didn't say those words at all.
Yeah.
It just shows a lack of character. I mean, what else is there to say about Joe? You know, lack of character. Dislikes what I say, so he, calls me a racist, Nazi, white nationalist. Not understanding that nobody really cares about that crap anymore. Because they use the word. On that note, I wanted to ask you, what is hate?
Hate is emotional. It's passion. It's anger, resentment, stuff like that.
Okay.
And what's interesting, what's weird, what's baffling to me is that it's also the feel-good stuff. Because that feel-good stuff, it's something that's anything that's based on the sand, if you will, rather than the solid rock, based on the sand of emotions, is hate.
So let's say you had a mosquito land on you and you slap them away because it's a nuisance.
Yeah, I hate that.
You don't like mosquitoes.
Right.
Is that hate?
No, I don't think. It depends on. It depends on what's going.
I look at Joe.
Okay.
I don't hate him. I look at him as a nuisance, and I just want to squash him and get him away from me.
Well, I mean, it just depends on what's going on inside of you. Because, yes, that irritation, if you can take that irritation for just an extra second and watch yourself in that irritation, then you can make sure that you're dealing with him out of calm and out of love and not out of hate. Because that irritation can be hate, or it cannot be hate. If a mosquito landing on you and stuff like that, that can be either if it gets to you, your spirit, it gets down to your spirit, then that is hate. But if it's just a reaction from the body, then it's not hate. I think that's my theory.
It's hate.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you definitely, like, who's my caller? Who's my guest who comes on sometimes and really gets under Joe's skin, and he's not even trying to.
Krishan?
Yeah, Krishan the Don. He doesn't deal with Joe with hate that I've seen at all, but he calls him out for saying the same old thing every time he calls.
Oh, he does, and what's weird, Hake, is I'll hop on YouTube and one of your shows from like 4 years ago will pop up, and I'll be like, okay, let me click on this. Joe's calling with the same stuff.
Yeah.
With the same call years now. So I'm convinced this guy is a Fed, because there's no reason that anyone would be calling into just like William said, there's no reason someone would be into something, or they say they hate it, but he calls every day.
Right.
So that I don't hate you, Joe. I actually look at you more like you have a sickness, because that's not a normal behavior.
Yeah.
Like I don't hop on like Joy Reid's channel or whatever and watch her every day.
Some people, people can get
a strange thing to do.
Well, people who are possessed do strange things, though. Look at Marcus in the chat. He's like, I don't know if you are in the chat ever, but Marcus in the chat is basically like Joe from Phoenix on the calls. He makes these sly, evil accusations and tries to be sneaky nice and fake.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just pretends like all he ever does is present just facts. Just present facts and evidence, just showing you a mirror. But that's not really what he's doing. He's being a snake. He's a dishonest person.
He's up to something.
Yeah.
And I think that he was just like a weird liberal, but now I'm almost convinced he's a Fed of some type or something.
He may well be. I would say just keep it as a blank, because there are people who, in their dark, evil minds, they're just obsessed with hating a show and trying to undermine, to convince people to pull away from the viewership. Because there's a lot of people who've been convinced by their madness in the chat.
I may be incorrect with this, but like for me, an example, I was upset the other day about the whole Trump thing, so I've checked out.
Yeah.
And I've just really been focusing on drums right now, just getting better at this technique I'm working on.
Yeah.
So I feel like if Joe actually was good at something or had any type of skill, maybe that could take the time. In the mornings he could grind out some sort of awesome skill that he's getting better at, instead of wasting our time with this nonsense.
Yeah. So he's an irritating Fed. He works on a farm or something with goats and things. I heard some goats in the background.
Yeah, I can make goat sounds too.
What would the purpose of him being a Fed? What would the purpose be of being a Fed?
Just to gather all of our information. I mean, someone even said like Jesse was a Fed too, so it's all conspiracy stuff. But
yeah, you definitely don't want to get in.
It's fun to entertain.
You don't want to arrive at a conclusion that you don't know.
Like you guys are just gathering all our numbers and
right.
And stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Wrapping it up with, I just don't think it's fair for any human being to get to decide what the other human being is thinking or feeling. Like, Joe, you don't get to decide if I hate you or not.
Right.
That's ridiculous. That's like me saying that I know you're like a pedophile or something. Like,
right.
I don't get to do that.
And the reason that he does that is to justify being nasty and judging you and pretending like he knows Asmodor is in HE double toothpicks, and being vicious and hateful towards he's just an accuser. Satan was the accuser. Women are accusatory, and he's basically a woman.
So the other thing I want to talk about real quick, you can cut me off when you want, but as you know, I'm a musician. I come from a background of playing in black metal bands. I'm sure you're maybe a little bit familiar with black metal.
A little bit.
It's like the anti-Christian stuff where they wear like the KISS paint, the black and white paint. They're all spikes and leather and all this crap.
Uh-huh.
So I come from that background. I'm not like a Luciferian or Satanist, but I've been immersed in that culture for 15, 20 years now.
Okay.
But now I'm not in that, and I'm trying to follow Christ these days.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know, like, I'm not like a nerd and know everything about it, but I just wanted to know if you think there's any benefit for a Christian to know about like occult symbolism and that kind of stuff, like how in our face it is. Like a lot of people don't know what it is. Are you familiar with any occult type stuff?
Very surface level. From people in the chat have said that the OK sign, and I'm doing the OK sign, is really a 666 symbol. It's
Right.
stuff like that. And when Jesse had an eye patch, they're like, all-seeing eye. Is that? They're like, people go way into their heads about stuff. So it's good to.
Well, and that's not like and not to be offensive, like you're saying way into their heads, but it might just be stuff that you don't know about.
Right, but if they're
You've never
going into
seen
their
before.
heads speculating that Jesse's trying to send some devilish message, that's in their heads.
I agree with that, but
Yeah.
I mean, if like, why does Justin Bieber and Pink and every celebrity covering their eyeball? You know, if it's not real, why were they all doing it?
I'm not saying that that there's no real thing to it, but I'm just saying that people go crazy with it. I say that there is. I mean, it's kind of fun to know that stuff, and it could be instructive a little bit. I know Mark Dice used to talk about that stuff. He kind of backed off of it.
With the state of the world as it is right now and how evil everything is, it'd probably be a good idea for people to at least recognize, a good amount of the symbols, because it's in everything. And at this point, I don't know, people can say it's fake or whatever, but if it was fake, it wouldn't be everywhere. And these people that believe this stuff, they really do believe in the devil, and just because we think it's fake doesn't mean that they do.
No, yeah, and well, it's more important though to have spiritual understanding, that you can see where people are coming from, where you can see yourself. You know, because people will do deep dives into knowledge about the world and knowledge about Satanism or whatever this stuff is, Luciferianism and stuff, but they don't check themselves, which you're checking yourself. You're like examining yourself and checking your emotions and things like that. But a lot of these people are not. They're just too busy learning about things and judging other people with it, and not realizing that they're
information.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost at the point where I don't let myself go unconscious. Like I'm observing my stuff so much now that it's like, it's a scary thought to know how many people are going throughout their lives without observing their thoughts, just letting it run.
Yeah.
But thankfully I don't live like that anymore. But yeah, I won't take up too much of your time. I just think Joe's lame and he's probably a fed.
Interesting. Thank you, Alex in California. I disavow it just because I don't know, but that's your opinion, and that's fair. That's fair enough. Thank you, Alex. Take care.
All right, take it sleazy.
All right. What did he say just now? I got to get to Lucas in California, who's on hold here. Lucas, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Hey, man, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's like a two-part question. I don't know if anybody ever talked about it yet or thought about it. I don't know, but it just popped up to me kind of just like a couple days ago. But do you think it's odd? Well, two-part question. Do you think it's odd that first of all that Joe Biden, it was a failed attempt. It was a failed attempt, and then he resigned like a week after.
A lot of things have. Oh, finish your question. Pardon me.
No. I'll start off with the other part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do I think it's odd that there was a failed assassination, and then the next week Joe Biden resigns resigns as president, but steps down as the incumbent? No, not necessarily, because the week before Trump got shot, or maybe 2 weeks before, Biden had that horrible debate performance in which he was more feeble seeming than I've ever seen him, And so it had been, and just before Trump got shot, I think it was reported, or right around that time, it was reported that Biden came down with the China virus. So people were already having the rumblings of, we got to get Joe out. Joe, you got to step out. Step off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What if? Okay. Now the second part is, if it was successful, would Joe Biden have resigned?
That I don't know. Because.
What do you think? or maybe are you just?
I
just
couldn't even
leave it
say
blank?
because he was already getting some pressure to resign, but the attention would have been less on him because Trump was so strong right after the attempt that the contrast was still very, very strong. And had Trump not been so strong looking after it, because he would have been dead, this is going into my imagination, so it's useless. But I don't know what the Democrats would have had to or tried to do, or what Biden would have had to do or tried to do.
If Trump did get shot and killed, if he did, then what would Joe Biden step down? Is my question.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe eventually, but it would depend on the strength of the other candidate, perhaps.
Yeah,
Whoever would come up in Trump's place.
Yeah, those kind of things go through my mind, and what it always ends down to, just like, you know, votes and stuff like that, which was completely fair. Every election was completely fair.
Thank you for saying that, for the sake of the channel.
Just like that. If anything would happen, it's like, what can we actually even do, though? And we see injustice. We see something that's blatantly, we could connect the dots. What can a citizen do? You know what I mean?
You can only take care of yourself. And
exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just focus on yourself, to be honest.
Indeed.
I mean, yeah. All right.
What makes you think about these things, just real quick, out of curiosity?
I try not to, like, whenever the day it happened, I was like, yeah, guys, people called me, a bunch of people called me. I'm like, I don't want to hear about it. Like, okay, like,
nice.
I'll talk about it later with you or something. Like, it's like, I'm trying to, you know, get out of my thoughts with it, because the first reaction when I heard that, like, oh, he's shot, I was like, anger came out, like, quickly, and I was like, whoa, I noticed it.
Oh,
okay. I was like, whoa. And so then I, you know, I've been just, you know, just staying out of my thoughts about it, and then it just popped up to me in my mind. I didn't hear anything from anyone. It just popped up. I'm like, wait, hold up. That was literally a week after, and then I was like, well, would Joe Biden step down if he was, you know, killed and stuff? I was just started not tripping out, but again,
that is sort of tripping out, to be honest. Right?
Yeah, again, working on my thoughts, you know, but then, boom, it popped up another thought, like, well, let's say that is true. Let's say it is true. I can't do anything.
Right.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
So, it goes and it leaves. And, you know, yeah, just working on your thoughts. But I just wanted to see if anybody else, you know, that popped up in their head, like, because I feel like we were distracted maybe, and maybe that wouldn't pop up in the head.
But
like,
but that pop up in your head is a distraction, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
Because like you said, what can you do either way? It's a useless.
Yeah.
It's a useless. It's really kind of a useless question because it's not real.
And but it's just crazy how just, I don't know. Yeah, and I see on the news that's probably what it is too. Just like making it a big deal, like, oh my God, a centimeter, like an inch.
All right, yeah, that's just hype. Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's true. It was very close. I don't know if the centimeter thing is true or not. It could be. He did move in just the right way, but it's just a useless reality. It's like looking at an athlete who does an amazing catch or who gets in an accident. Oh, just one thing this way or that way. It's useless because the reality is it went down the way it went down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like talking about just like the people who deny the election. Can you believe those people? For the sake of my channel. The reality is Trump is not in the White House and Biden is.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And that's the funny thing too, is that our side can just accept it. Like, we're not going to go crazy.
Right.
I mean, some people, I can't speak for all. There is some crazy people. I
True.
used to be one of those.
Yep.
I used to be going out to
We all have been crazy. It's not good.
Yeah. But yeah. All right. Well, awesome. Yeah. Just wanted to talk to somebody about it.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Bye. Oops, I hung up on a move too quick. At least we didn't get a click. Thank you, Lucas. Pardon me, man. We are coming up at the top of the hour, guys. I think we're going to be able to power through. Joel Friday will be here. Let me check. Joel, are you scheduled already? Let me see. Let's see here. Joel Friday. Not yet. He's not scheduled yet, but he will be here. So make sure you do catch Joel Friday TV as well as American Anchor, baby. Raymond 11 is banned, says spoiler alert. The man. Our best mod has... Or I don't know if the best mod did it, but the best mod, according to him, Raymond 11 is banned. You're out of there. Control yourselves, chat. You guys are so spoiled. You're so spoiled, and you have such... You're acting with your privilege. You know what I mean? You guys are acting with impunity. Doing crazy things. You guys are acting like the cops. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Let me adjust my things so that I can... I like to have my stuff arranged correctly. It's time for some super chats, guys. Thank you, Zenya says, diving too deep on that make-believe world. Yeah, true. Diving too deep on the make-believe world. Don't do that. Colby bought a coffee. Happy Pioneer Day. Is that true? Pioneer Day is a holiday. July 24th. Hey, happy anniversary. July 24th. What is that? 25 years? Wow. Maybe not. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. Or is it? It might be. No. It might be, though. Pretty good. No, July 24th. Probably more than 25 years, right? It's Pioneer Day, official holiday celebrated in Utah. July 24th. Beautiful Utah. Shout out to Utah. White heaven. And are Mormons Christian? I think they're kind of Christian. Some celebrations taking place in regions surrounded by states originally settled by Mormon pioneers. Commemorates the entry of Brigham Young and the first group of Mormon pioneers to Salt Lake City, Utah, July 24th, 1847, where the Latter-day Saints, LDS, settled after being forced from Nauvoo, Illinois, and other locations in the eastern United States. Parades. Fireworks, rodeos. Why am I pronouncing this stuff in Spanish? Help commemorate the event. Similar to the 4th of July. 4th of July. Many local and out-of-state local and all state-run government offices, many businesses closed on Pioneer Day. Wow. Shout out to the Mormons, you know. They get a bad rap, and they are kind of a mess, just like many of us whites. But I've known some Mormon families growing up. There were a couple of Mormon families, a lot of kids, white, nice, good students, Mormon, but decent. They were fine, halfway decent. So shout out to the Mormons. I've known some Mormons later in life, meaning more recently, within the last 10, 15 years. And they're just like the rest of us whites. A bit of a mess. Some of them don't even... Well, I won't go there. But yeah, they have that fake guilt over imaginary racism because they didn't used to let blacks in, or they used to think the blacks were fallen angels or something like that. Talk about being in your head. And that stuff becomes mainstream. That's why a lot of you Christians, mainstream Christians, talking about, oh, the church fathers believe this or that. Church fathers? Call no man father. Ever heard of that? Jesus said that. Call no man father. Don't follow the crowd. Even if it's the crowd of relatively decent Christians who are pushing what's right, it's still following the crowd. Believe in something just because they are interpreting things that way. What a mess. Shout out to the Mormons and to the regular Christians, normal Christians, and to the Catholics. Some of you guys are relatively normal. Nice. Thank you. Happy Pioneer Day, Colby. That's cool. Doxed. Doxed as a pioneer. What is up, GG Cash? Thank you for the lemon and Groovy Monkey. Appreciate that. GMD Jim, Dijon Paul, Severio Jones, Coffee Talk with Sandra, Auto Rocks, Kilo Alpha Tango, Games for Rec, GG Cash, like as I said, Misty, MX Murderer. Thank you guys for the support. And it's me, Xenia, for the monthly support on Rumble. That's cool. Very interesting. All right. So let's talk about this. Let me see here. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, yeah. All right. So here's the update on Adele. This one got 67,000 views. This is what I was telling you guys about yesterday. Let me see if this is unmuted. What in the world? It didn't go? I am a boomer. Okay, so listen to this. All right. Oh, darn it. Let me see. I think that's an ad. Okay. So let me unmute this because it's not necessary right now. It's not necessary that it be unmuted. But this guy, no thanks. I think that I did the right thing. This guy, Graham O'Neill, has an informative channel. He seems to support the not morally straight agenda. Let me play it one more time for a second. Okay, cool. Okay, so here's the mess. I better not do that. Let me just go about it the boomerish way. I hate mouse, having to use the mouse.
Hi, my name's Adele.
Adele.
I'm so excited that you're here.
That was Adele partying at Pieces, a gay bar in New York City in 2019 with none other than Jennifer Lawrence. Now, I could go on and on about the ways that Adele loves the gays. Well, last night, during her Weekends with Adele show in Las Vegas,
She does not love the gays. She loves the gayality of the gays, which is to say, she has a devilish, satanic, mama spirit, emotional, nicey nice to the LGBT agenda. She's subject to her emotions. She doesn't love the people. In a sense, you could call it the gays if you want to say the demons in the people. The mess. Everybody has their demons. She loves the mess in them, but not them. So anyway, this was about a month ago, or right, a month and a half ago. When was this? June 2nd. When this happened.
Adele proved to be quite the ally after an audience member yelled pride.
Ally of evil. Allies tend to be of evil, Darth. We've already been over that. Allies, I'm very suspicious of that term nowadays.
After an audience member yelled "Pride sucks" when she brought it up for the kickoff of Pride Month.
Did you come to my show and just say that pride sucks? Are you stupid? Don't be so ridiculous.
Let's jump
You've got
in!
nothing nice to say, shut up, all right?
And there you go. Happy Pride Month. Thanks, Adele. Thoughts? Let's watch that again, shall we?
Did you come to my show and just say that pride sucks? Are you stupid? Don't be so ridiculous.
Let's jump
You've got
in!
nothing nice to say, shut up, all right?
All right. Okay, and so who says that? Who talks like that? Who says pride stinks? Nobody says that. They say work stinks. You've never heard pride stinks? You've heard work stinks, except they don't say stinks. They say S word, S-U-C-K-S. Don't say that word, kids. So, but that first video that I just showed you got 67,000 views. And this one, just over 6,000. Less than 10%. Watch this. Here's the correction.
Extra long weekend. What was that? Did you just say pride sucks?
The thing is, I don't know anymore. See, Adele went viral earlier today, for putting someone in their place after they apparently said pride sucks during her Weekends with Adele concert in Las Vegas.
Come to my show and just say that pride sucks. Are you stupid?
The original video that I saw didn't include the pride sucks, but all reports said that's what the guy said and that's what Adele heard, so that's what I went with.
Extra long weekend. What was that?
But listen to this other audio from a video taken from the balcony.
Friday's basically the beginning of my week, you know, because that's when I work, basically.
Work.
So it's sort of like the weekdays of my weekend, an extra long weekend. What was that?
That sounds to me like work sucks.
My weekend, an extra long weekend.
Which makes sense because Adele just said that Fridays are the beginning of her work week. But yeah, saying pride sucks would be completely out of nowhere. Then I went back and listened to the other audio again.
Extra long weekend.
Work.
What was that?
I can't hear work sucks, but I still hear pride sucks. Oh my God, we are rolling into deep now. I can't be right as rain on this one. It doesn't seem like there's one and only answer to this. That's pretty good, eh? It's something. It's like the dress illusion for your ears. But in terms of context, work sucks makes more sense.
Extra long weekend.
Sounds like
What was
work.
that? My weekend, an extra long weekend.
Work.
Look, it's great that Adele was so ready to jump to Pride's defense.
No, it's not.
And I'm thinking that the people that were directly around the guy who yelled that would have properly heard what he said. So if he did just say, work sucks, then they wouldn't have been throwing, the popcorn at him.
Sorry, kids.
So yeah, I think this is just all water under the bridge. But no, it's a weird year trip, I guess.
Extra long weekend.
Work.
What was that? My weekend, an extra long weekend.
Duh.
Adele's gonna have something to talk about next weekend. What are your thoughts?
Happy Pride, okay?
Gross. Be quiet.
Donald Trump is an
Oh,
existential
what?
threat
How did you do
to our
that?
democracy and our most fundamental
Be
freedoms.
quiet. I don't care about you. I shut her up, didn't I? For some reason, I need to switch my thing so ads don't come on. Ridiculous. Anyway, that's the update. Thank you to Spoiler Alert, who helped make that reality. And did the news ever correct it? My eyes, Hake, Kamala jumps are a mess. Yeah, Kamala Harris is a mess. Why is Kamala on the ad? Kamala Harris is talking about Donald Trump. Do you want to hear what she says? Donald Trump, something attacks that took rights and liberties away from the American people. Muting Kamala Harris is racist, Hake. It's a common statement to say, work stinks, you know? Work stinks. Don't say that, S-U-C-K, kids. It's funny because I was looking at I took a bunch of screenshots. Let me see. She cussed out another innocent man, I said. Another hate crime hoax. Those gays and the LGBTs and the liberals, and some of you guys too, all too quick to jump to conclusions about what you heard, what you think they said, what you think that they're doing, what you think they're about. Just like Joe the Snake. He jumped to conclusions about Alex in California. He jumps to conclusions about Hake. Chris says the most crazy things about Hake. Thinks, oh, Hake only hates Obama because he's black. Doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. Do I hate JLP? I'm working for JLP. I've been coming to JLP's church for like several years before I started working for him. Doesn't make sense. No, if I hate Obama, and if it is hateful, then it's because of a disagreement. Or it's because I'm a hate-filled person. The hate is in the heart, right? Oh, it's because he's black. Zero evidence, just in his imagination. Oh, another hate crime hoax. They were quick to believe it. Blacks do this like crazy. They knowingly make stuff up either, or they knowingly just believe it without any proof. Women are like that. The gays are like that. Gays and blacks and Jews, apparently sometimes, will do these fake bomb threats, fake swastika things, fake N-word tagging that they themselves do to try to frame the whites and the men and the straights and the Christians. Ridiculous. Misunderstanding. Jump into conclusions. Shout out to Grime, however you pronounce his name, O'Neill. Hey, Irish, how do I pronounce that name? Irish people. How do you pronounce? I like that guy's fairness. Even though he seems not morally straight in that he supports the gay agenda, he thinks it's great that this woman is over eager to stand up for, quote unquote, stand up for the gays. He's like, wait, I want to know the truth about it. A lot of Jewish people and white liberals, they like at least to have the facts right, even if they come to the wrong conclusions with the cherry-picked facts. They like to get it. They like it to be rationally consistent. Some of the blacks and some of the gays and the women, they don't have it. It doesn't have to be rationally consistent in order to rationalize the lies that they push. Let's see. He said work stinks. She should have got him to repeat what he said and waited instead of jumping down his throat. Rolling eyes. How the HE double toothpicks is anyone hearing pride stinks? I like to read these. Let me put this in the folder here because it's a bunch of them. All right. Okay. Boom. Comments. Boom, boom, boom. It's a mess. It's a mess. But I want to at least show you guys this because it's funny how people will just say something. I was there. If you were there, you don't even know. You don't know. What, you think you know? Just because you were there? You're less likely to know. Eyewitnesses notoriously and ear witnesses notoriously bad at interpreting what events, you know? Here, let me go into here. Boom. Okay. All right, here, guys. Why am I looking at that one? Okay. Check this out. Complicated business. I'm a bit of a boomer. Don't read this word, kids. He said, work stinks. Oh, here. Come on. What the heck? It's not going. Oh, well, I'm looking at the wrong thing. How the HE double toothpicks is anyone hearing pride stinks? He clearly said work stinks. It's a people wanting to be victims type thing, says somebody. Because they want it to be what was said. They live in their victimhood so they can crave more and more daily. It's why microaggressions are even a thing. People have to either be victims or the big brave ally that stands against the inhumanities. Adele chose the latter that evening. Silly Adele. What a silly woman. You're a silly girl. The heck? Now it's not going anymore. Oh, pardon me. I know why. Boom, boom. There we go. Adele is a bully. That's all there is to it. She just heard what she wanted to hear because deep inside her, she's enjoyed the opportunity to attack weaker ones. That's right. Cussing out another innocent man. I told you yesterday she cussed out some guy. A bodyguard, a security guard, who was dealing with this out-of-control, weak, girly guy who was going too crazy in the front. Hey, down in front. No, let him enjoy me as he pleases. She's British. They're all snappy with their comebacks. Shout out to the Brits. You guys are bullies and rude. This is snappy. The whole... let me zoom in on this because I want to be able to read it. The whole using her song titles thing is doing too much. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The guy's like, oh, we're rolling in the deep here. Cringe. I love Adele. I'm glad she's an ally. But the dude said, work stinks. Unnecessary, extra on his part. His heart was in the right place. I'd forgive her. Or her heart was in the right place. Her heart was not in the right place. She's a mama. Oh, this guy is crazy. Go have a conversation with the man, then cause, not only did he say pride stinks, it's now been confirmed by people at the show. They don't know because she was talking right at the moment when he was saying work. She was talking on the big, loud, echoey mic in a big, loud, echoey room. They don't know what he said. Y'all love to spin things and not address homophobia. And it's not H-ophobia. It's not fear or hatred to say that this pride is stupid. I have heard that there is some of the so-called... Actually, one guy was on my show. He's like, this is dumb stuff. The world. Hang on. Complicated business. I'm a boomer. I guess I have to zoom back out to go like that? Yeah, apparently. What a mess. But this guy's all in the comments. Oh, hold on. If they said pride stinks, then it was a setup. Everybody wants to claim setup. Why are you so quick to think something is a setup? Whether it was the Trump assassination or the Biden stepping down or the whatever, or Mays is a paid scripted caller on the Hake Report. You kidding me? Doesn't make any sense. I was there. He said pride stinks. Why did he not clarify what he did say? Before that, she was talking about the first day of Pride Month. Oh, yeah, because it was June 1st. Shameful. They all want to fight about this. And then she segued off into how she forgot what day it was because Friday is the beginning of her work week because she's a washed-up person at... You guys were telling me that if you have a residency at Las Vegas, then you've made it. Yeah, but that means you made it a while ago. You made it a while ago. All right, fine. She made it. Whatever. But she's also kind of like... She's not doing world tours at the moment because she's doing a residency. Okay, she's making millions, but she makes millions all the time. What is this thing saying? Oh, this man or woman, Sherry Booher. Don't harass her, guys or gals. It's easy to change sounds on videos and recordings. I heard what he said. I was there, period. Psycho people. Thinking that just because they were there, they know what happened. You don't know what happened? Oh, I even responded in the comments. What makes you think every angle that this was recorded at would be edited to say work stinks? And it's not that easy to change the audio in a recording where it says work stinks. Somebody says, I was there and he said work stinks. It's far more common for people to say work stinks. It's a saying. It's a common saying. Oh, here, let me show you guys. It's a saying. It's a common saying to say work stinks. I disavow it. I would never say that. Especially not working where I do, right? What matters is what Adele heard. She even asked him to clarify, and he didn't. I heard that he did, but she talked too fast. Cussing at somebody. If it's about love, why are you cussing? It matters what she heard. That's like the blacks talking about these hate crime hoaxes or these things where it turned out not to be true. such as hands up, don't shoot, was not true. And they're like, well, it doesn't matter if it's not true. The overall narrative is real. No, it's not. And this Julio Marquez guy, you've literally spent a career siding with those against the gay community. No surprise you've somehow spinned the audible pride sticks from a something video into someone randomly yelling work. It wasn't random. I downvoted him in the comments, by the way. But I'm not a bully. So that's me. She cussed out another innocent man. Oh, yeah, you guys are telling me in the chat. I screenshotted your chats. Hake is upset that Adele did not consult him before losing that weight. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that other British woman singer who is a better singer, Kim Boyle, or something Boyle. Susan Boyle. Very talented singer. All right. Thank you guys for the chance. Anyway, whatever. Let me get out of here. We got to get back to calls, guys. So thank you, a spoiler alert, for the clarification. Clarification. Because the mainstream media is not going to be honest about it. I didn't even see word of this in the mainstream. Well, actually, I didn't really look. What's interesting to me is how people think, how people jump to conclusions or jump to taking sides or want to believe what they believe or go way into their imagination. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Lines are full, guys. I got to get back to calls. I have only 30 minutes to go, so I'm going to try to get to all of you, okay? Sean in Florida is on the line here. Sean, how are you doing? Thank you for holding. What is up?
Hi, fine. How you doing?
Doing well. Appreciate you.
Well, I want to make a comment about the Miss Kamala Harris, the phrase that she has been repeating over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah. On the Jesse Lee Peterson show, we played a clip, a 2-minute clip. By the way, Joel Friday is scheduled. He's going to come up in half an hour or 35 minutes. But yeah, Kamala Harris was repeating this statement, unburdened, looking forward to what is ahead or something like that. Unburdened by what has been. Something like that. Yeah. Do you remember what words she said?
I think, yeah, I had to just look it up a little bit ago. What can be unburdened by what has been.
Yeah, what can be. And she lifted up her right hand, I guess, looking ahead. Unburdened by what has been. And then she pushes back on what's behind. Yeah. What do you say to that?
I just wonder, what does that mean? What can be unburdened? So I try to break it down, and unburdened. I guess if you tried to replace it with a synonym word that it could be unaccountable for what has been.
Oh.
Unpressured by what has been, and then, if we go further and we think about, well, this is supposed to represent the United States and what the United States characterizes. So if we go into the history, maybe looking at old clips from the past of different crises and events, or just how America was rolling along. Will, one of the subjects that you were talking about the, not that nobody loves anyone, but people can not love what you do. We can not love what any one of us do, but we can love one another. If someone is if they're promoting boys playing on girls, teens, and he states that he is a girl, but he can knock a girl out, and with the strength of his natural biological self, that's being unburdened. Now, if the laws, I think she's speaking to the future, the laws are going to start rolling in, making it okay, and you can't speak against it because it's a law. These things that have been pressured, accountable. The citizens are asking why we don't like this. This is not right, and can speak an opinion on a boy being on a girl's team or a girl being on a boy's team. She can get really hurt. So there has to be an area where that phrase is kind of like reading between the lines. She's letting you know, I think, that reading between the lines, that is, that this is going to be just a tidal wave of laws that are going to be coming in, and certain candidates, maybe such as yourself, are going to promote these things. There was a cartoon on the YouTube a few years back.
Okay.
And you could type it in. I think it had 60 years or 50 years ago. They would check. You were being told what was going to happen, and it was just an old cartoon, and it just showed you, okay, the isms. You're going to be attacked by the ISM ism, racism.
Okay.
That's a thing that's played on, and as Kamala Harris is, quote unquote black and a woman.
Right.
That's ism, playing on the race of her, and also her gender, feminism, black woman, and so many women are going to be like thinking, a female president for the first time, or
right,
something's going to be swept away in the tidal wave of the racing, and different things happening, and which my opinion is, Biden was saying so many things that were so disrespectful and crazy. If you don't vote, then you're not black.
Right. If you're not sure who to vote for, then you ain't black. In that phrase is the phrase has been.
Right.
And what has been and who are has-beens? Adele is a has-been. She still is. I'll give her flowers, to use a black phrase. But in the past, whites were running things. Whites were the big majority. And now that has been, but it's no longer today. And it reminds me of Obama. You know how Obama ran on hope and change, because a lot of people were miserable under Clinton, and especially under W. Bush. And a lot of times the communists and the evil people want you to look at the past with regret and dismay, and then look to the future with this false hope. Right. And they're miserable, unable to look at now. The reality is everything is fine, or else there are actual problems or issues that we need to deal with now. Like Trump is talking about stuff now, whereas they're talking about climate change in the future and, racism in the past still carrying out today, but they're not looking at the right racists. So I think we're going to, like you said, it's going to be a bunch of laws getting rid of common sense, Christianity, white people, men in leadership is going to be a thing of the past, which it already is, really. And I think you're right about that.
It's a spiritual battle. It's just made up. Racism is made up.
Stay close to your phone there, Sean.
Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, and I believe like racism is made up. It's just a made up thing for human beings. We're no matter what color we are and whatever we say to each other, we should be able to have the freedom to say it, and even if it's in maybe joking, and we can all learn to get along or whatever. But I'm talking about as human beings. But,
yeah.
No, not a division of us as race, because when the Bible says that Jesus is going to pour out His Spirit on all flesh. So, like now we're coming into a time with the all flesh, which I think that means every culture, every nationality, every village. So, like even our judgment of looking at people who may be being used in a certain way for him, sometimes we may think, well, I'm American. That person is not American. Or they're some way, but how could they be being used for? But this is the time that's happening.
Right.
So another thing, they have something about the Simpsons cartoon have been predicting a lot of this. And they actually have the little girl Simpson in a same colored white beads that Miss Kamala has.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think it's just coincidence.
Yeah, it could be.
Stay close to your phone. You're coming in kind of rough there, Sean.
Oh yeah, it could be. It could be coincidence. But they were saying that different things, had occurred in the news, and the cartoon episodes were aired before the events happened. And one more thing about Trump, how you were saying that a lot of people tend to go towards was things are set up or whatever. Well, somebody described President Trump, who had met him in the past, and they said when I met him, I was very surprised that when I spoke with him, he seemed like a everyday type of guy.
You're saying that's what other people say about him when they've met him?
Yeah, it was somebody who was
right.
telling about their meeting with him.
Yep.
And they said that he seemed like, as a president, when they spoke with him and got to meet him, this person said that he seemed like an everyday, down-to-earth person,
right.
That can speak with a regular citizen, about working, talk to the working class and everything, and you feel comfortable with him. The thing about what happened the other day, I think, President Trump, as any other politician, he probably could tell, if he really could do it, he probably could say a lot of things related to, like break it down for you. But he's in a position that he's in as a candidate, they have to kind of bridle their tongue. And, because if he got clipped on his ear, that it could have went the other way very easily.
Right.
So then this thing about, okay, now we're going to put in a black woman as we're going to get the crowd of women who want a woman as president. We're going to get the crowd of people who are caught up in the tidal wave of race. And so they slide her in. He may not, of course, known about that very easily, not known about that, but, the powers that be, very smart, clever, I'd say clever, strategic, and so, his hands would be tied, no matter how much sense that he would make, and so to put a black woman, a woman in general, but, to play on those cards and put it, but the things that are being said, I think, you're being told what's coming up. What can be will be unburdened by what has been, will be unpressured by what will be unaccountable for what has been.
It's supposed to be a hopeful phrase where you're free of your past and you can have a better future, but it's an evil phrase. She's a liar,
Yeah.
A wolf in sheep's clothing. Actually, a wolf in Jamaican and Indian clothing, and Berkeley clothing. Thank you, Sean. It's great hearing from you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Make sure you do catch Joel Friday TV. He's coming up next, guys. I got to keep it moving. William in California on the line here. What's up, William? How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing, Jimmy?
Doing fine, thank you.
Right on. I'll just make this quick. It looks like they're looking for the next distraction, some kind of riot, some kind of police officer killing somebody black. Something's going to happen, I think. But for the staged assassination theory, I guarantee you that is not true.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about something that was staged, how about talking about Rosa Parks? That was staged.
Yeah, that was staged. That was a setup.
Right.
That was
And
just a
it's
drama
been
propaganda.
proven. Right. But,
And they
know
ate
their
it
right.
up. The media, the willing media
They
ate it up.
Man. Yeah.
They didn't care.
Yeah. But their rights. They know their rights. You're racist. You're holding me back. The white man this, white man that. But I could just tell everybody, we need to look at ourselves and stay right there. Stay right there in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing to do.
Yep.
You just had a very refreshing call from a lady, SHAWN. That was beautiful.
Nice.
That was very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
She's a sweet lady.
Yes, very sweet. Very sweet. I'm at the beach with my girlfriend, and we're having lunch out here in the sand. But
right on.
I went to the cemetery to check out my father's grave over at the Veterans Cemetery. Beautiful place in San Bruno, Golden Gate Cemetery. And I'm just looking at those flags and the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, and the Army. And they got a new flag I wanted to tell you. It's they also have the black POW flag, and then they have another one, a new one. They have a new one. It's black. It's pretty. It's called the Space Force.
Oh yeah! Shout out to the Space Force. That's Trump,
Right.
a Trump creation.
Yes.
And remember what happened with one of those Space Force guys? They got rid of him because he pointed out that the liberal agenda is infecting even the military.
Oh yeah, they're going to be cleaning that up too.
Yeah.
Because I think it was 2 years ago. I was told by many veterans that you're not supposed to take pictures of their facilities, or if you're on a ship or near a weapon or a plane or anything. You're not supposed to take pictures of that stuff. And they
Fair
had
enough.
it is, I guess, top secret stuff or whatever. They don't want that stuff on the wire.
Right.
But they had the women's barracks. I don't know where this base was, and they were all doing a routine, a Beyonce routine, twerking on in their dorm, their barracks. Wow. And so it's going to get cleaned. It's got to get cleaned up.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully, Trump stays focused.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Because they're looking for, like I said, they're looking for a new distraction. And as for the Nazi theory and the neo-Nazi and the white racists, what do you call them? White supremacy.
Yeah.
I mean, just listening to this woman that just got off the phone, I can tell she's a little bit older and has a little bit more experience than I can definitely tell you it's a guarantee that most people that call into your show speaking about white supremacy, Hitler, Nazis, so on, you actually really don't have, and the KKK, you actually don't have anything to do with any of that, just like you have nothing to do with slavery. You have
That's
nothing
funny.
to do with reparations. And yeah, you're always running around talking that stuff. It ain't going to happen. You have nothing to do with any of that stuff. As a matter of fact, you got to think twice about how much contact that blacks have during World War II with the SS. Wasn't that much. I mean, they were soldiers, and they were fighting just like everybody else for their lives and everything. And that's pretty much your experience with them. And those people were pretty much dead. So if anybody's alive, talking about Hitler and Nazis, and that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah, I know. It's
I'm just like looking at these flags today and looking at this beautiful grave, man. It's sitting on a hill. You can see San Francisco. It's still a beautiful place to see. And you look at those flags and you say, that's their stuff. Those people on the ground, this is their stuff. I have nothing to do with that. Your father was in there. My dad was in there. But I was not.
Right.
Nobody has a right, or they call that fake valor. Nobody has a right to your benefits and military veterans benefits and everything but your spouse. That's it. That does not come down to your children and friends. So you have nothing to do with it. This is their stuff, and they need to get the respect that they have to. And that doesn't mean everybody in the military is respectful. That's definite right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm looking at this U.S. Space Force flag. It looks kind of like the Star Trek symbol, but it's kind of cool.
It's beautiful.
And there's Trump.
It's beautiful.
Shout out to Spoiler Alert. He posted that in chat.
Happy White History Month, James.
Indeed. Happy White History Month. Thank you, sir.
May I? Is it okay before I get off? May I do my
Yeah,
turn?
definitely. Let's hear it.
I'm going to go with Gaylord Perry.
Have you mentioned his name before? Gaylord Terry?
No.
Okay.
Gaylord Perry? No. Pitcher. MLB.
Gaylord Terry. A pitcher for Major League Baseball. Terry or Perry? Perry, huh?
Perry,
With a P is in Paul. Perry.
Right.
Gaylord Perry. Back in the good old days when that wasn't such a bad name to be called. Gaylord Jackson Perry, American right-handed pitcher, MLB. 8 teams between 62 and 83. Wow.
Right.
Born in 1938, died in 2022, age 84.
Right.
Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1991. San Francisco Giants, San Diego Padres. Nice.
Oh, yeah, good stuff. Real
6'4", by the way.
Yeah, he was real tall.
Nice. Cool. Thank you for the contribution. Good
Happy
old
White
days.
History Month, Happy White History Month, everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. By the way, somebody in the chat was making comments after you mentioned you're going to have lunch or whatever with your girlfriend. Somebody said that you said that you were married before. That's not true, is it?
I am not married.
Yeah, never been married, right? Or
I've never been married.
Yeah.
Never been married.
All right. Just wanted to clarify that because people, not that it's anybody's business,
People
but
like to, I don't know what it is. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? You think I'm going to actually dox myself? I'll tell you what I want you to know.
right, exactly.
Okay?
We know that. It's good to hear from you, man.
Why do you want to know? That's crazy, man. Nobody
Ladies, there are ladies sometimes in my chat, and they're well-meaning, but they just like to know.
Well, for that, shout out to the ladies.
Yes.
There are ladies in that chat.
Indeed.
I mean, there's females, but there are real ladies in that chat.
Yeah, and they're interested in people's lives, and they can't help it.
And they're interesting people as well.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Right. If they don't mean any harm, it's all good and everything, but you know the difference.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But shout out to the ladies, and everybody have a good day. We're going to move this along, and you have a good one.
All right. Thank you, William. Appreciate it. Take care.
Take care.
All right. David in Ocala, Florida, on the line here. Thank you for calling, David. What's up, man?
Hey, I just had to call in because I heard you bring up a couple of times about the Mormons being Christians.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They're not. They're a cult, okay?
Okay.
And the deal with them is in 1823, an angel appeared to Joseph Smith. The angel's name was Moroni. And this angel told him where these golden tablets were buried, and he went and he dug them up. And then they made their philosophy off that. What they believe is that Jesus and Satan were brothers, that God was a man at one time who obtained godship, and that they can do the same thing. And what they're going to do is when they obtain godship, they're going to have their own planet to make all their little more Mormons.
I have
really
heard
bizarre.
I have heard things like that, and that is crazy things to believe. But isn't the bottom? I always heard growing up that the bottom line is you have to believe Jesus was the Christ and accept him. And if you accept what Jesus said, sometimes people are going to believe crazy things.
Okay, well, here, this is
the basics. Do they believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God? And he died for our sins.
Jesus and Satan were brothers, man.
No. Never mind whether they thought Jesus and Satan were brothers. Okay. Do they believe that Jesus was the Son of God and he died to take away our sins and he rose again?
Yeah, they'll tell you that, but here's the thing. There's a
No. Do they believe it? Do they believe that?
They possibly do.
Okay, so then some of them could be Christians.
Anything.
The Mormons are possibly Christians then.
Okay, well then watch this. Okay,
and I don't really have a dog in the fight, but
I know. I'm just letting you know. The apostles wrote this: if we or even an angel preaches any other gospel than the one we preach, let him be accursed. So when so they knew.
Wait, what's the gospel? The gospel just means the good news. The good news of our Lord and Savior Jesus. The good news of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Well, I guess. Listen, man. I say they're wrong. They come to you, they're wolves in sheep's clothing, man. They send these kids out on bikes to come up to your house and deceive you, okay?
No, I mean, hey, a lot of people do that, including regular Christians.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I'll call you back another day.
And I'm not saying that people say, oh, they're a cult. And I always thought that they were a cult. I watched some videos about stuff that they believe that sounded crazy, kind of like what you just described. I've heard those things and about blacks and things. And I always kind of looked down on the Mormons and Mormon kids and their families when I was growing up because I was a normal Christian. And
well, they're nice people. They're nice people, but Jesus warned us about those kind of people, okay? He said they'll come to you.
But he also warned us about
in wolf's clothing, but they're ravenous.
Don't fall for the name, though, is what I say. Like,
what's that?
Don't fall for the name, because a lot of people preach the Bible exactly perfectly, and yet they are deceivers and they have an evil spirit.
Yeah, because it's about money to them and all that. So
not just that, it's about ego.
Yeah, I wanted to welcome back. Spoiler alert!
Nice.
This is White History Month.
Yeah.
And my man William brought up somebody in the baseball. I'd like to bring up Nolan Ryan, who pitched 7 no-hitters, and
I like that guy.
The only sports person that I ever seen him break into TV because he was pitching another no-hitter.
Okay.
Absolutely. Just jump right in the middle of the show and say, this is ABC News, and Nolan Ryan's about to pitch maybe his 6th no-hitter, okay? It's the 9th. We're going into the 9th inning. Man, I mean, that's something, ain't it?
That's pretty cool, man. Nolan Ryan.
Yeah,
and
he threw the heat too, baby. I mean, he was throwing, and even when he was older, I think he was like still pitching at like 42 years old or something.
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
77 now, and I feel like I remember him when I was a kid.
Yeah, you probably saw him when they broke in on TV to show him that he was pitching number 7, the 7th no-hitter against whoever it was. So,
yeah, I mean,
1993
and 1992, I'm seeing years 1993 and 1992. That's well into my lifetime. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you were about 12, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, hey man, I'll let you move on. I'll
All right.
call back because I got some stuff about the occult that kid brought up. But
Okay.
I don't got time.
Sounds
So
good.
I'll call back in a couple of days or something like that. Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. David in Florida. Wow. Okay. I'm at about 5 minutes till. I got to read super chats, guys. Popcorn's Thump Keg said, during your news segment today, you gave a muddled commentary on the Sonya Massey story. I say muddled because you were mixing very small bits of information about the actual story, but then went on to say she got herself killed. It gave a chin-up king to the cop. Then you said maybe the cop was wrong, which suggests to me that you hadn't watched the actual camera footage, as you were all over the place. Indeed, I have not. Have you seen the actual body cam footage? No. What are you basing the she got herself killed and chin-up king comments on? They go after whites anytime a cop shoots a black, or anytime a cop is involved when a black gets themselves killed, such as George Floyd. In the Heather Heyer case, you had a different stance about the police using deadly force. Heather Heyer, I don't remember that one. It vaguely rings a bell, but I don't remember offhand so far. So what about this case makes you say she got herself killed? She called the police. She was apparently acting erratic, and they killed her. And so it sounds like she got herself killed in some sense. You have a habit of saying, I'm not interested, but at the same time having a default stance of who was right and wrong. I don't have any stance on who was right and wrong. I say chin up king because the white cop gets unduly persecuted even when he does wrong, and when he does something questionable, and when he does right. So I didn't have any stance on whether the cop was right or wrong, nor on the woman. Because she may have been right to call the police, but she was not in her right mind, apparently, according to CNN. They said she may have been having a so-called mental health episode. And I disavow the sense. Spiritually, I disavow the notion of mental health. It doesn't make any sense because it's trying to pretend, it's a pretense that it is just a brain thing, and that it comes out. It's as though they think that it comes out of nowhere and you're a victim, when in reality you are driving yourself crazy or listening to the devil. You know, it's not just something that happens out of nowhere. So that's my reasoning for that. I think I could fairly stand by everything that I said, even if the cop was wrong in shooting her. She still had a hand in her own passing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she had a hand in how she was acting led to the cop acting the way he did, even if the cop was wrong and overreacted. I don't dispute that the cop may have been wrong. Okay, I got to wrap up, guys. Joel Friday coming up next. Let's see what I can do here. Dun, dun, dun. Lord have mercy. Yeah, I guess I just got to do enjoy this. It's time for some music, guys. And I'll have to read the rest of your super chats later. This is Pidgeon. The track is called Down. I hope you enjoy it, you musical Philistines. Oh yeah, I have to unmute it. Hang on. Complicated business, folks. Complicated business. Terrible. Pause. Bring it back to the beginning. Because I muted cackling Kamala Harris, so now I have to unmute this. Bye, guys. Hey. What do I do? Salute to the Space Force. Pidgeon with a D.
Overcast winter's day on the western front. Got a dog with no name, but it barks like a fan. I'm over it now. I'm over the sand. I'm over the rain. I'm out at the front. I'm over the bones. I fall to the ground. I don't sleep anymore. I'm in love with the sound. As they fall, as they fall, as they fall down,
Nice. This is fun. Thank you, spoiler alert. Awful.
I'm less of a man for wanting to be alone. It's like soap in my hand, lesson learned but unknown. I'm over it now. I'm taking it far. I'm taking it down. I'm taking it slow. You're calling me out. I aim to be found. Here looking around. I'm in love with the sound. As they fall, as we fall, as you fall down,
No, I don't surf.
down, down.
No, it's Pidgeon. Well, thank you guys. Peace in the Middle East, or at least perhaps in your hearts. Adios, America. Joel Friday coming up next. Bye.